The clock blinked 3:02 a.m. The city of Taipei lay in a deep slumber, unaware of the storm about to break. A soft breeze rustled through the streets of Taipei, oblivious to the impending chaos. The city was serene, bathed in the soft glow of streetlights. Suddenly, the night erupted with a deafening roar. Air raid sirens pierced the darkness, their wails echoing off skyscrapers. The shrill sound was a harbinger of the terror that was about to unfold. Across the city, citizens jolted awake, hearts pounding. The sudden noise shattered their dreams, replacing them with a living nightmare. The unthinkable had become a reality. China had invaded Taiwan. News broadcasts flashed urgent headlines, confirming the worst fears of many. Explosions thundered in the distance, lighting up the night sky with fiery bursts. The once peaceful cityscape was now a battlefield. The sky blazed with streaks of fire as missiles rained down on military installations around the island. Panic gripped the city as the relentless assault continued. Families huddled in fear, seeking refuge in basements and subway stations. The sense of security they once felt was now replaced by sheer terror. The tranquil night had transformed into a nightmare, the opening act of a geopolitical drama with the potential to reshape the world order. The streets, once filled with the sounds of daily life, were now filled with cries of fear and confusion. The initial wave of the assault targeted Taiwan's air defenses and command centers. Precision strikes aimed to cripple the island's ability to respond. Chinese warships, a menacing armada silhouetted against the first light of dawn, unleashed a barrage of missiles. The horizon was dotted with the silhouettes of these vessels, each one a symbol of the impending invasion. Amphibious landing craft, packed with troops, surged toward the island's beaches. The soldiers, trained and ready, prepared to execute their mission with precision. The People's Liberation Army, honed by years of preparation, had sprung its trap. Their movements were calculated, their resolve unshakable. The world watched in horror as the crisis in the Taiwan Strait escalated into full-blown war. News channels around the globe broadcasted the unfolding events, capturing the attention of millions. The international community held its breath, knowing that the ramifications of this conflict could be far-reaching and devastating. To understand the gravity of this moment, one must delve into the tumultuous history of China and Taiwan. The seeds of conflict were sown in the aftermath of the Chinese Civil War. In 1949, Mao Zedong's communist forces triumphed, forcing the defeated nationalists to flee to the island of Taiwan. Two Chinas emerged: the People's Republic of China on the mainland and the Republic of China in Taiwan. For Beijing, Taiwan has always been considered a breakaway province, a remnant of a civil war that remains unfinished business. The Chinese Communist Party has vowed to reunify Taiwan with the mainland, by force if necessary. This stance is enshrined in the CCP's ideology and seen as central to achieving the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Taiwan, however, has charted its own course. Over decades, it has evolved from an authoritarian state into a vibrant democracy. Its people have forged a distinct Taiwanese identity, embracing democratic values and freedoms largely absent on the mainland. For Taipei, reunification under Beijing's rule is anathema, a threat to their hard-won freedoms and way of life. To truly grasp the depth of the conflict between China and Taiwan, one must journey back to the mid-20th century, a period marked by intense upheaval and transformation. The Chinese Civil War, a brutal and protracted struggle between the nationalist Kuomintang, KMT, and the Communist Party of China, CPC, left an indelible mark on the region's history. The war, which began in 1927, saw numerous battles, shifting alliances, and immense suffering for the Chinese populace. In 1949, the tide turned decisively in favor of the communists. Under the leadership of Mao Zedong, the CPC declared victory, establishing the People's Republic of China, PRC, on October 1st. This monumental event marked the beginning of a new era for mainland China, but it also set the stage for the enduring conflict with Taiwan. The defeated nationalists, led by Chiang Kai-shek, retreated to Taiwan, taking with them hopes of one day reclaiming the mainland. The island of Taiwan, officially known as the Republic of China, ROC, became a refuge for the nationalists and their supporters. Over the years, it developed its own political, social, and economic systems, distinct from those of the mainland. While the PRC pursued a path of centralized control and communist ideology, Taiwan gradually embraced democratic principles and market-oriented reforms. For Beijing, the existence of the ROC on Taiwan has always been a thorn in its side. The Chinese government views Taiwan as an integral part of its territory, a province that must be reunified with the mainland. This belief is deeply ingrained in the CCP's ideology and is often framed as a matter of national pride and historical destiny. The CCP has repeatedly stated its willingness to use force if necessary to achieve reunification, a stance that has fueled tensions and international concern. On the other hand, Taiwan's journey has been one of resilience and transformation. From the martial law period, which lasted until 1987, to the vibrant democracy it is today, Taiwan's people have fought hard for their freedoms and rights. The island's political landscape is characterized by lively elections, robust civil society, and a strong sense of Taiwanese identity. This identity is not merely a political stance, but a reflection of the island's unique culture, history, and values. The prospect of reunification under Beijing's terms is deeply unsettling for many in Taiwan. They fear the loss of their democratic freedoms, human rights, and way of life. The memories of the Chinese Civil War and the subsequent decades of authoritarian rule on the mainland serve as stark reminders of what is at stake. For the people of Taiwan, the struggle is not just about territory, but about preserving their hard-won liberties and ensuring a future where their voices can continue to be heard. Tensions across the Taiwan Strait have simmered for decades, punctuated by periods of crisis and rapprochement. However, several factors have converged in recent years to bring the two sides closer to the brink than ever before. China's meteoric rise as a global power, coupled with its increasingly assertive foreign policy, has cast a long shadow over Taiwan. Economically, China has become a global powerhouse, its economic might now rivaling that of the United States. Militarily, it has undergone a rapid modernization program, pouring resources into developing advanced weapon systems and projecting power far beyond its borders. This newfound strength has emboldened Beijing, fueling its belief that it can achieve its long-held ambition of reunifying Taiwan. Moreover, Xi Jinping, China's most powerful leader since Mao Zedong, has staked his legacy on national rejuvenation. He has made it clear that reunification with Taiwan is a core component of this grand vision. Xi has set a timeline for achieving this goal, further raising the stakes and increasing pressure on Taiwan. Xi Jinping's rise to power has been marked by a tightening grip on domestic control. From the moment he took office, Xi has been focused on consolidating his authority within China. His leadership style is characterized by a strong emphasis on discipline and loyalty within the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. This has involved a series of anti-corruption campaigns that have not only targeted corrupt officials, but also served to eliminate potential rivals and dissenters within the party, and a more assertive foreign policy. Under Xi's leadership, China has expanded its military capabilities and increased its presence in contested regions such as the South China Sea. The modernization of the Chinese military has been a key component of Xi's strategy to project power and influence on the global stage. This assertiveness is not just about military might. It also includes economic initiatives like the Belt and Road Initiative, which aims to extend China's influence through infrastructure investments across Asia, Africa, and Europe. He has consolidated power to an unprecedented degree, eliminating rivals and centralizing decision-making within the CCP. This centralization has allowed Xi to push through significant reforms and policies without the usual bureaucratic delays. His approach has been to place loyalists in key positions, ensuring that his vision for China is implemented effectively. This has led to a more streamlined but also more autocratic governance structure and centralizing decision-making within the CCP. This has not only strengthened his control over the party, but also over the state apparatus. By merging the roles of party and state, Xi has blurred the lines between the two, making it difficult to distinguish where the party ends and the state begins. This has given him unparalleled control over China's political, economic, and social life. This concentration of power has allowed Xi to pursue his agenda with fewer constraints, but it also raises the stakes for him personally. The more power he accumulates, the more he becomes the face of China's successes and failures. This means that any significant setback could have direct repercussions on his leadership and legacy. But it also raises the stakes for him personally. For Xi, the personal and political are deeply intertwined. His vision for China is not just a political agenda, it is a personal mission. This makes his leadership style both highly effective and highly risky. The concentration of power means that there are fewer checks and balances, which can lead to more decisive action, but also to greater potential for mistakes. For Xi, reunifying Taiwan is not just about territorial integrity, it is about cementing his legacy as the leader who achieved what eluded his predecessors. The issue of Taiwan is deeply emotional and symbolic for many Chinese people. It represents the final piece of the puzzle in China's long journey towards national rejuvenation. For Xi, achieving this goal would solidify his place in history as one of China's greatest leaders. It is about cementing his legacy as the leader who achieved what eluded his predecessors. This ambition is not just about personal glory. It is also about fulfilling a core tenet of Chinese nationalism. The idea of a unified China is deeply ingrained in the national psyche, and achieving this would be seen as the ultimate validation of Xi's leadership. It is about fulfilling a core tenet of Chinese nationalism and securing his place in the pantheon of CCP greats. The narrative of national rejuvenation is a powerful one, and Xi has positioned himself as the leader who will bring this vision to fruition. This has involved not only a focus on Taiwan, but also on other areas where China seeks to assert its sovereignty and influence, and securing his place in the pantheon of CCP greats. By achieving these goals, Xi aims to be remembered alongside other towering figures in Chinese history, such as Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping. This is not just about personal ambition. It is about shaping the future of China and ensuring that his vision endures long after his tenure. However, this ambition carries significant risks. The situation with Taiwan is fraught with tension and the potential for conflict. Any military action would not only be a test of China's capabilities, but also a significant gamble with potentially catastrophic consequences. The international community is closely watching, and any misstep could lead to severe repercussions. A failed invasion of Taiwan would be a devastating blow to Xi's prestige and could potentially destabilize his rule. The stakes are incredibly high, and the risks are not just military, but also political and economic. A failure could lead to internal dissent and weaken Xi's grip on power, making it one of the most critical issues of his leadership, and could potentially destabilize his rule. The internal stability of China is a key concern for Xi, and any significant failure could lead to unrest and challenges to his authority. The Chinese people have high expectations, and any perceived failure could lead to a loss of confidence in his leadership. It would also have profound consequences for China's international standing and its ambitions for global leadership. China's rise on the global stage has been one of the defining features of Xi's tenure, and any setback could have far-reaching implications. The international community is watching closely, and any misstep could lead to a loss of influence and credibility, and its ambitions for global leadership. Xi's vision for China is not just about regional dominance, but also about being a major player on the global stage. This involves not only military and economic power, but also soft power and diplomatic influence. Any failure in Taiwan could undermine these ambitions and weaken China's position in the world. Yet, Xi seems willing to gamble, convinced that the historical moment is ripe and that China's power is sufficient to achieve his goals. This confidence is based on China's significant economic and military advancements under his leadership. Xi believes that the time is right for China to assert its claims and achieve its long-standing goals, convinced that the historical moment is ripe and that China's power is sufficient to achieve his goals. This belief is not just about military strength, but also about the broader context of China's rise. Xi sees this as a unique moment in history where China has the opportunity to reshape the global order in its favor, and that China's power is sufficient to achieve his goals. The coming years will be crucial in determining whether Xi's gamble will pay off. The world is watching, and the stakes could not be higher. Xi's legacy and the future of China hang in the balance. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and leave a comment below. Also, click the bell icon to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you for watching. Thank you for